For being aware in the instant from this and other information, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
Five Britons have tested positive for coronavirus in eastern France, the French health minister confirmed. 4 adults and a child were diagnosed with the virus after coming into contact with a British national who recently returned from Singapore. That man returned to the UK on the 28th of January before being diagnosed with the virus himself on Thursday. The 5 Britons, who stayed in the same ski chalet, were not in a serious condition, French officials said. French authorities are closing 2 schools next week attended by the child with the virus, a 9-year-old boy who lives in the ski resort of Contamines-Montjoie with his family. There have been almost 35,000 cases of the coronavirus globally, mostly in China. The latest incident stems from a man who became the UK's 3rd confirmed case when he tested positive on his return to Brighton. The Briton had stayed in Singapore on a business trip from 20 to the 23rd of January, the French health ministry said. He arrived at Contamines-Montjoie, in Haute-Savoie, on the 24th of January for a 4-day trip before returning to England on the 28th of January. On his return to the UK, he is thought to have isolated himself at home and called NHS 111. After a positive test, he was taken to St Thomas's Hospital in London where he is being treated. Public Health England also advised a student at Portslade Aldridge Community Academy in Brighton to self-isolate for 14 days, as part of their investigation into this case of coronavirus. The school said it had been advised by health authorities that there was no need to close. Where had the UK coronavirus patient been? 20 to the 23rd of January, in Singapore on business. 24 to the 28th of January, stays in a chalet in Contamines-Montjoie, France. The 28th of January, returns to the UK. The 6th of February, the Department of Health confirms he is the UK's 3rd case of the virus, after testing positive in Brighton. The 7th of February, a student at Portslade Aldridge Community Academy self-isolates on the advice of Public Health England. As a result of the investigation into this case, the Brighton man told UK authorities that he had visited a chalet in Contamines-Montjoie, prompting French officials to take the 11 Britons staying there to hospitals in Lyon, Saint-Étienne and Grenoble on Friday night. The chalet has 2 apartments where 2 families were staying, French authorities said in a news conference. A British couple and their 3 children, who are now resident in France, lived in one. The mother is in the UK at the moment and has been contacted. 7 of their friends were staying in the other apartment. Those with the virus are the father of the family resident in France and his 9-year-old son, as well as 3 members of the visiting family. The 9-year-old boy attends the local school and has French classes at another school in Saint-Gervais. Both schools will be shut next week, and parents are being asked to keep their children under observation. A crisis unit has been set up as a result of the new cases. It comes as 4 members of the same British family were admitted to hospital in Mallorca after contact with a coronavirus carrier. They are being tested at the University Hospital of Son Espaces in Palma. The British family said they had been in contact with a person who recently tested positive for the virus in France, the government in Spain's Balearic Islands said. Meanwhile, a British man transferred from a cruise ship off the coast of Japan on Friday after testing positive for the virus is said to be feeling well and in good spirits. Alan Steele, from Wolverhampton, on his honeymoon with his wife Wendy, was among 61 people to be taken off the ship for hospital treatment. She has been in telephone contact with her husband, and said in a Facebook post on Saturday that he was still feeling healthy. What's happening globally? The majority of confirmed cases worldwide are in mainland China, where the total stands at 34,598. On Saturday, the death toll rose to 723 in China, including 1 American in Wuhan. A Japanese man also died in Wuhan with symptoms consistent with the virus. Outside China, 288 cases have been confirmed in 24 countries, according to the World Health Organization, WHO, with 1 fatality in the Philippines. The 5 new cases in France brings the total in the country to 11. Elsewhere, Hong Kong has begun a mandatory 2-week quarantine for anyone arriving from mainland China after 26 cases were recorded in the territory. The Department of Health and Social Care said that 686 people in the UK have been tested for coronavirus as of Saturday afternoon, with 3 cases confirmed. The 2 other UK cases, both Chinese nationals, are being treated at the Royal Victoria Infirmary Infectious Diseases Centre in Newcastle. UK citizens who travelled on 2 repatriation flights from Wuhan, the Chinese city at the centre of the coronavirus, are in quarantine at Arrow Park Hospital in Wirral. A 3rd flight to the UK will depart on Sunday with around 150 Britons, who will be taken to a conference centre in Milton Keynes for a 14-day quarantine. What's the latest UK travel advice? The Foreign and Commonwealth Office is advising against all but essential travel to mainland China and all travel to Hubei province. UK nationals have also been advised to leave China where possible.